Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at what do planets sound like. Have you ever wondered what other planets sound like? We all know what they look like, but some sound amazing and also scary. Using electromagnetic technology, scientists from NASA have recorded the sounds on many planets. But before we listen to the planet sounds, be sure to put on some headphones if you have them. It makes the experience much more atmospheric. But first, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming up first, we have Sun. So the Sun is one of the most important planets to those on Earth. After all, it lights the entire planet for us during the day. But what does the scary looking Sun sound like? Well, it sounds equally as scary as it looks, as it's literally a ball of fire. Let's give it a listen. As you can hear, it's a very low, ominous tone. And I think it's also one of the scariest sounding planets in the solar system. Next up, we have Saturn. This one may sound like something out of a horror movie, but this is actually what the ringed planet of Saturn sounds like. Saturn is a very large and amazing planet, but it doesn't get as much interest as Jupiter, Mars, or the Sun. However, it has very, very terrifying sounds, so let's give it a listen. As you heard, there are staticky screaming sounds. You could seriously use this as background music in a horror movie. Next up is Mercury. So Mercury is one big grey planet. But what exactly does this planet sound like? By looking at it, it's full of holes and is very empty. And its sound does not let it down, as it's very ominous. This is a very low and echoey sound. It sounds like the inside of Darth Vader's helmet, and I think it's one of the scariest sounding planets. Coming up next is Venus. The sound of this planet may seem like it's coming from an instrument. Venus is one large orange planet, and the sound it makes is quite unique. Instead of it being very low like Mercury, it's quite high pitched. If I had to put it into words, it sounds like a giant swarm of hornets coming from far away. Let's give it a listen. It sounds like a sound effect a sci-fi mystery movie might use. I can just imagine the X-Files playing the Venus sound in the back. But I think this is also one of the best planet sounds on this list. Next up is Neptune. Neptune is one big, blue friendly planet. And the sound of it is actually quite friendly and much less scary than the other planets. It kind of just sounds like static, almost like someone breathing heavily down a phone line. I can really picture myself on the planet as that sound plays, and it's pretty scary. But at least it doesn't sound like screaming like some of the other planets before. Next up is Mars. So we may have to get used to this sound in a few years. That is because many people such as Elon Musk want to colonize Mars. Well, if we do, then you'll be hearing this sound a lot. Luckily the sound isn't too scary, but it sounds exactly how space sounds in movies. It sounds quite windy and like some kind of desolate wasteland, which I guess Mars kind of is. But who knows, maybe some people watching this video will one day get the chance to go to Mars in their lifetimes. Just make sure you bring noise cancelling headphones if you go up there. Next up, we have Pluto. So I know Pluto is no longer officially a planet, but I still think it's very interesting to include this microplanet on the list. Pluto actually doesn't sound too bad compared to other planets. It almost sounds like the ambient sound of a beach. It almost sounds like waves crashing together, but you can almost hear a strange hum underneath that. The high-pitched humming noise sounds a bit like a train pulling up to a train station. But leave me a comment letting me know what you think of Pluto's sound. Next up is Jupiter. So Jupiter is one amazing planet to look at. It looks like many layers stacked on top of each other, but the sound of Jupiter is quite unremarkable. It just sounds like ambient space noise. Now don't get me wrong, it is cool, but not as amazing as some of the other planets on this list. Let's give it a listen. As you can hear, it wasn't some kind of scream from hell like Saturn, but hey, it's still pretty interesting to learn what this amazing and large planet sounds like. And finally on the list we have Uranus. Alright, I don't want any jokes about the name of this planet. Everyone knows Uranus is one large, bright blue planet. But what does it sound like? The best I can describe it is very, very strong winds. Now, of course, there are no winds on Uranus. However, it is still an interesting and very eerie sound to hear. So guys, that is what our solar system sounds like. Maybe one day when space travel is more commercialized and common, we'll be able to hear these sounds in real life. But for now, we're just going to have to listen to them on YouTube. Big thanks to NASA for collecting these sounds for us to hear. But guys, leave me a comment down below telling me your favorite sounding planet. And now it's time for the poll of the day. Use the poll in the top right corner to vote for if you would want to be part of the Mars colonization. Would you be one of the first people to go to Mars to colonize the planet and live on it? If you guys want more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. There's a playlist of my life hacks and crafts on screen in a moment, so why not check it out? But as always, thanks for watching. Click on some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.